my spooky crew. It is here, Samhain. It is the night when the realm of the living and the realm of the dead is at its finished, where we respect and treasure those past and ward off the evil spirits trying to get through. Yes, Halloween night. I'm so excited. I've been trying to bake and do and quickly get ready so I can quickly do this with you, then go trick-or-treating with my lovelies, then eat food and hopefully watch Halloween films, and then rest before the massive clear up again tomorrow. But we love it so we do it. But anyway, as the time is going on and we're trying to get everything done, I won't leave you too long. The transformation in me has already begun, so I must hurry and get going. So join me once more. Settle in, get cozy and warm, have a witch's brew, dead man's punch, eat some witch's fingers, and enjoy another real life Halloween horror tales, part 2i. This is the tale of the Candyman. It was Halloween night 1974. It was a rainy, dreary night in Deer Park, Texas. But the weather didn't dampen the spirits of all the trick-or-treaters, as it's not dampening ours because it's the same weather here today. Anywho, please forgive me while I read my things. It's a bit dark, as you can tell, and I cannot see very well. The kids all went out happily knocking on doors and trick-or-treating. Along with these children was the O'Brien family. Ronald, the dad, an optician, was keeping an eye on his children. 8-year-old Timothy and 5-year-old Elizabeth, with their neighbour Jim Bates, who came out with his son, and I think one of his other ones stayed at home. On their route there was a house that was in total darkness. Now, we all know that if there's no lights and no decorations, you do not go and annoy people. But these were excited kids. It was 74. I don't know if they knew those sort of rules back then, and they went up excitedly, knocked on the door, and obviously no one answered. So they, disappointedly but still thinking the night is young, scampered away, with Jim following them to keep an eye on them, and Ronald stayed behind. A little while later, Ronald caught up with them and said that he had these pixie sticks and he brandished a handful of them. These are 21-inch tubes of powdered sour candy. And my daughter said they're so good.
If you get a pixie stick, can I have it?
As long as it's not poison.
I'm okay either way.
Ronald said that someone in the dark house had suddenly decided to open the door and had suddenly just handed him all these pixie sticks. Each child in the group got one. So one went to Jim and his child that was trick-or-treating and his other child at home. One went to Timothy, one went to Elizabeth, and one went to a 10-year-old child that they all recognised from church when they were walking home. Now, as a treat for being good and it being Halloween night, Timothy was allowed to take any treat from his Halloween goodies before going to bed. Of course, Timothy chose the pixie stick. The powdered sugar was stuck in the top of his straw, so the dad dislodged it. He took his first excited mouthful and he complained that it tasted really bitter, so his dad gave him some Kool-Aid to wash it down and sent him to bed. Less than an hour after that mouthful, Timothy was dead. The county prosecutor, Mike Hinton, was called by the police to say that an 8-year-old child had died. He rushed to the hospital but had already passed. Getting the investigation underway, Hinton called Dr. Joseph Jachimax. I am really bad at this. I will put the name up later on when I do it because you know my pronunciations suck. The chief medical examiner in Harris County. Hinton said, I told him the situation and he asked what Timothy's breath smelled like. So they rang through to the morgue and the morgue confirmed that Timothy's mouth smelled like almonds, cyanide.
Yeah.
Dr. Jacob, we won't say his surname anymore because it's very hard, saying, that's a sign of cyanide. An autopsy showed that poor Timothy had enough cyanide in his body to kill 2 people. Later tests showed that 2 inches of pixie sticks were packed with cyanide. Thankfully, police officers managed to locate all the children who had the pixie sticks before any of the other children could have any and die. They noted that who had put the poison in the pixie sticks had used really strong staples, which deterred a lot of the children from getting into them and saved one of the boys' lives as they found him in bed holding the pixie stick in his hands because he wasn't strong enough to get the staples out. Ronald told police he got the pixie sticks from the dark house, so they took him out in the streets tracing the route and said, "Which one was it? Show us the house so we can investigate." And all of a sudden he was like, "I don't know. I'm so shocked. I just don't know. I can't remember which house it was. I'm really flummoxed." And the police thought, this is really frustrating. And also that he couldn't remember the face of the person. He hadn't seen the face of the person who gave them the sweets, just they'd handed them out. The police were starting to get suspicious. This kept going on for days, and Hinton said that the investigations were getting so frustrated, so they took him out again and told him, "We're going to be firm with you. You need to show us where you got these sweets from." That seemed to work, and he pointed out the house. No one was home, but they found where the man lived. Not lived, dick, because they were already there. "Excuse me, backtrack." They found out where the man worked and went there. The man worked at Houston's William Hobby Airport and had the man arrested in front of his colleagues and friends. Case closed. But it wasn't. The man had a stone-tight alibi. He had been working Halloween night. His wife and daughter were home but ran out of treats, and so they turned the lights off, which people do, so you know. Colleagues and timesheets confirmed this, which deepened the suspicions of Ronald. Ronald was also angry that the family hadn't stayed up all night to watch the funeral of Timothy on TV. I don't know why it was filmed, maybe because it was such an eventful thing, an 8-year-old poison on Halloween. But apparently he had written a song about Jesus and Timothy meeting Jesus and being together in heaven, and was very annoyed they didn't watch him sing it on the recording of it on the TV.
Yuck.
Officers soon came to Hinton with the knowledge that Ronald had recently read the notes, Dad, taken out life insurance on both of his children's lives. $10,000 for each child in January, and then a further $20,000 on each a month before Halloween. Ronald was over $100,000 in debt. So when the investigation found out that the following morning, so only a few hours really after Timothy's death, he had rung his insurers to find out when he would get the payout, the case against him was truly beginning. Armed with this knowledge, they were granted a warrant to search Ronald's house. The search found a pair of scissors with plastic residue on which matched that they found on the poisoned sweets. O'Brien was arrested and taken in for questioning. More evidence was stated. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? And breathe, people, breathe. Was starting to build against him when it came to light that Ronald was going to community college. In class, he would ask his professor what is more lethal, cyanide or another type of poison. A witness came forward who worked for a chemical company in Houston and told police that a man had come in to buy some cyanide but left after he was told the smallest amount he could buy was £5. He couldn't ID Ronald but said he was wearing a beige or blue smock like a doctor. Ronald was an optician. That was exactly what he'd wear to work. Of course, this was back in 1974. We didn't have DNA. We would have had fingerprints, but I don't know if he was supposed to have worn gloves or anything. We didn't have all the CCTV cameras everywhere pointing at different places so they could have checked. We didn't know about tracking credit cards. I didn't even know we had credit cards back then, I'm not sure. But I would have thought even with that, evidence was damning. And so did everyone else. Hinton said that O'Brien seemed to love the attention. He even loved it during his trial. Ronald said that he was not guilty, of course, but friends, family and co-workers testified against the man. The press would come to call the Candy Man. On June the 3rd, 1975, the jury took just 46 minutes for a guilty verdict for one case of capital murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. 1 hour later, Ronald was told that he would be put to death by electric chair. After all Ronald's attempts for appeal were explored and ran out, he was finally put to death on March 3rd, 1984. But the US Supreme Court said the electric chair was a cruel and unusual punishment, and so he was unalived, as you're supposed to say nowadays, by lethal injection, which I think sucks, because if you can kill your child, if it really was him for some life insurance, then you deserve the electric chair. But what do you think? Was he innocent? Was it the boogeyman in a dark house handing out poison sweets? I don't think so, of all that evidence against him. But who knows? But anyway, be careful when you're trick-or-treating. As I always tell my children, don't take anything homemade, don't take anything that has no wrapper or has been opened or looks like it's been tampered with. One must be safe. Have a great spooky evening, whatever you're doing. I hope you love it. I hope you're happy. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. And mind the monsters don't bite. Goodbye.